Hello and welcome to another Win Daily Show. My name is Michael Rosile and I have the myth, the man, the legend, Nick Bretwish with me. Nick, how you doing today, buddy?
I am doing well. It's good to be back and in the baseball streaming world here. It's my first time on the Wood Daily stream for baseball for daily. I like it. I love this slate. I'll just get right out and say that.
Hell yes. Let's just hop right into it. What we're here to do is we're about a half hour from lock right now. So we're going to be helping a little bit with the 7 p.m. slate here for August 3rd. And yeah, man, let's just hop right to it. Let's just look at this thing. We got DraftKings up. We'll be talking a little DraftKings. We'll be talking a little bit of FanDuel, but this is Aces Day, man. We got DeGrom, we got Cole, we got Bueller. I guess Soroka's technically maybe the ace of that staff. I guess I don't know. We got Paddock. Like it's a fun slate. We got Montas against the Seattle Mariners, right? I think. So let's talk about that pitching a little bit. Let's kind of break it down for everyone. I mean, DraftKings, you obviously get two pitchers. Going to be difficult to shove DeGrom and Cole in there, but if you want to get real crazy with it, I'm sure you can. But who are these pitchers you're looking at? Who do you think has the highest upside coming into to the slate today?
I think Garrett Cole's got the favorite or the most upside. I mean, DeGrom's awesome. Atlanta's got Ozzie Albies back. I would have liked DeGrom a little bit more if Ozzie Albies was out. I think this is his first game back in a while. So when it's 1,100 or 11,600 for DeGrom or 11,000 for Cole, and we're all trying to get as many Coors Fields bats as we can, it seems like the no-brainer is Cole. But good luck getting in anybody from Colorado. Any sort of stack for that, for that matter. But I think Cole's for sure the ace right now. That's my favorite guy. He's got a 8.5K prop and it's minus 150 on that. DeGrom 7.5K prop and it's only minus 125. Go with Vegas. They know what they're doing. They like Cole a lot more here, and he should be priced up higher than DeGrom in my opinion.
Do you think the Phillies being off for well over a week at this point? I think, what is it, 8 or 9 days, I think. Do you think, I mean, coming back, is there a worse pitcher to face than Garrett Cole coming right out of the chute?
It's got to be awful. So there's one other pitcher on the slate I like for that exact same reason. Like, when's the last time Philly has seen live pitching? And maybe it was inter squad. I don't know. I don't really follow the Phillies or much of their beat writers, anything like that. But yeah, coming out, like, okay, maybe you hit the pitching machine that was throwing 96, 97 flat. Cole's throwing 98, 99, 100, and it moves. So good luck. If you were out for, what were they out for? 5 days, you said? So
longer than that. I feel like it's been over a week at this point. It's crazy.
Yeah, obviously I was on vacation, so time was irrelevant to me at the time. But yeah, I mean, you're coming in and facing Garrett Cole at home. I know it's a hitter's ballpark. Weather looks a little bit iffy, but yeah, give me all the Garrett Cole I could afford right now today.
Yeah, the game actually is already canceled for tomorrow for the Yankees and Phillies. So again, they're going to have about 4 games in 2 weeks, which usually doesn't happen. But hey, that is coronavirus season. So let's talk about some of these pay down options a little bit. We all know anybody over here at Win Daily Sports, anybody that follows us knows that Nick loves Chris Paddock probably more than his soon-to-be wife. But that's neither here nor there. We also have Frankie Montas only at 7,200 here on FanDuel. I think he's a little bit more expensive over there on DraftKings, or 77 on FanDuel, 72 on DraftKings. I mean, how do you feel about a couple of these pay down spots? Because there are a bunch of pitchers on the slate finally.
I mean, Montas is going to be absolute chalk. Let's looking at ownership projections right now. He's right around 50%. I would take the over on that, especially in single entry. No one's going to avoid him just because, again, everybody's trying to get Colorado in their lineup. Maybe some San Fran. Obviously, everybody prefers Colorado. I think they got damn near an 8-run implied total, which is insane. So, yeah, I love to get different as much as I can, but there's one guy. If I'm not playing Montas, I'm going to play Carlos Rodon, but we'll talk about him in a little bit. But Paddock's interesting. I mean, he's got the stuff. He's got no pitch count for the most part. I think he can go up to 95, 100 pitches on this start, but he's facing the Dodgers. But it's at San Diego, so I think he could limit the trouble there. If you want to get different, I don't think anybody is playing Chris Paddock. What's his ownership at here? Sorry. Yeah, he's under 10%. He's definitely got the stuff. I was hoping to see like a 6.5K prop for him, but it is 5.5, and it's only minus 110 on most books. So it's pretty much, even money regarding sports betting, just paying a little bit of juice there. So I don't know. I would have loved to see Paddock a little bit higher, but if you want to get different and say you're going Paddock over Frankie Montas, for sure. I mean, the Dodgers can get cold. They haven't blown it up every single game this week. The lineup is probably going to have a lot of lefties. I think Paddock's his sinker ball could definitely cause an issue for those guys, but I think Muncie's batting leadoff. So, he's got to start hot because if he gets in trouble, it's going to be a long night for him. But
yeah,
in single entry tournaments when Montas is going to be over 50% owned, I have no problem at all if you go to Paddock or Rodon. Those are my only two pivots there at that price point.
Talk to me about Rodon. Why him against Milwaukee?
Rodon has nasty stuff. We've never seen it because he's always hurt. He's been a big prospect. I think he was North Carolina State. The White Sox faithful here in Chicago have always wanted him to pan out. He's probably better off as a bullpen pitcher. Only thing I'm worried about here is his pitch count, but Milwaukee Craig Counsell called up Ryan Healy today. I thought that was a great move, and he stuck him batting leadoff. So a lot of people think that Rodon sucks against righties. He very well may, but he throws sliders inside to righties a lot, kind of that back foot slider. I think Healy's going to have a hard time with that. I think all these righties are going to have a hard time with that. And when's the last time Milwaukee's seen live pitching? They kind of been cooped up because of the St. Louis Cardinals had to ruin their weekend and anybody's week this week, it sounds like, regarding St. Louis. But Milwaukee was cold as hell going into this matchup, too. The White Sox are one of the hottest teams in baseball, winners of 4 straight. It's had like 15 or 16 hits yesterday. I like the White Sox lineup a lot today, and I like Rodon. And Vegas likes him, too. Rodon's got a 5K prop. Nothing sexy there, but it's minus 135. So it was a very safe bet. I think our projections have him for 6.2 Ks, which is obviously impossible, but it's over 6. I like that for the value at 7,000. And really no one's on him. I think he's like 15% ownership right now we're seeing on most sites. So that's not bad at all. Again, it's a pivot off of Montas, or if you want to eat the Montas chalk because it's Seattle, I get it. Nice pitcher's park there too. You could play him and Rodon, and hopefully they get 6 Ks each and get the win, and you're in really good shape to stack up Coors Field here.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a pretty great way to start building some of those stacks. So you've been talking about Coors Field. I guess we'll start there first. We'll look at some of the hitters we have over here for San Francisco and Colorado. I don't think we'll be on too many of the San Francisco guys, but maybe I guess that's a way to get a little different with it. So talk to me. We all kind of know Coors Field is the hitters of all, the hitters park of all hitters parks. Who are you looking to stack, and how are you, again, understanding that some of these dudes, all of these dudes are pretty expensive. How are you going to try and go about creating that stack?
See, Nolan Arenado has been so cold. He's got to snap out of it one day. I haven't looked at the BVP. I'm not really a BVP guy, but these guys have faced Johnny Cueto a ton in the past, so I will weigh that in a little bit. I'll pull that up later in the show, and we can see if we can get a real synopsis on who my favorite hitters are. But Trevor Story's just red hot right now. Play him. Daniel Murphy finally hit a home run yesterday. The old Daniel Murphy that we all used to know and love. Left the yard. Love him. Ryan McMahon hitting really well right now, too. Kills righties. I think Cueto's in for a very tough assignment today. I mean, you could play Matt Kemp. He's on fire. Chris Owings, Tony Walters. But for the most part, I want to get as many bets as I can in the stadium. So I'm going to try my best to stack 1 through 5 and maybe leave Arenado off on 1 or 2. I don't know how he does against Cueto. Sorry, I just got off the golf course, too. But I don't know. It's hard to fade Nolan Arenado because he's got to get hot soon. But I don't know. He hasn't looked that good when I watched the Rockies game yesterday. His approach just looks kind of weak. I don't know. It's not the Nolan Arenado that we know and love from years past as well. But David Dahl, Charlie Blackmon is on fire too. I want to get all these lefties that I can. So maybe if you want to go with David Dahl, just play Trevor Story because he is absolutely on fire, and he's probably the only threat in this line to maybe steal a bag to get some extra points there. Play Blackmon. Play Daniel Murphy, and Ryan McMahon is probably the way I'm going about it. I'm going to leave Nolan Arenado out, and his salary is so damn high, so I don't necessarily hate that either. We can get, a third baseman. Maybe we can get Moncada in there for the White Sox, and we'll see what that looks like. I like this lineup right here. This is the exact same build I built this morning. Trevor Story's price is through the roof, but the guy's just on fire. He hits righties and lefties. I like it. Yeah,
and I mean, if we then hop over to that White Sox game, I mean, we can get Moncada. It's starting to get pretty expensive, especially considering these pitchers it get. But it's definitely, I mean, you could do a little Sox stack here, White Sox stack. I mean, Luis Robert, I would love.
What if we took McMahon out of there? Take McMahon out, throw in Madrigal. Yep, he's a salary saver, and he had 4 hits yesterday.
Much easier, especially if we do go with Rodon.
Man,
that doesn't look too bad. That doesn't look too bad.
Can we get Montas in there?
Can we get? Yeah, let's get him in there too. Let's just.
We could, and we can get James McCann. That's probably my favorite lineup for the night.
Where I'm on pitchers, let's get Montas in there. 33.
Oh, we can't afford him.
I don't think we can get it. Nope. Rats. But this is exactly the whole. This is the point. Like this is what we want to show you. It is capable. You can create a White Sox Colorado stack that looks pretty damn close to this. especially if you're going to pay down a little bit for pitching, who both of whom have good stuff, have good upside, have good potential. It looks like they're going to strike out some pitchers as well, which I think is the most important part. So talked a little bit about White Sox, talked a little bit about Colorado. Who are a couple other stacks that you're looking to potentially build a little bit around coming into the evening tonight with Lock coming up in about 30 minutes here?
Minnesota, I absolutely love Mitch Garver on FanDuel. He's like 2,500. He's batting leadoff tonight. Finally, that's what he excelled at so much last year. Derek Holland here for Pittsburgh. He's great against lefties. Gets a lot of strikeouts against lefties, but it looks like Minnesota's doing their best to put as many righties in they can. Byron Buxton is relatively cheap. I don't like him batting in the 8-hole. I wish they would have put him up in the 2 spot and just stacked righties early for this lineup. But every single one of these bats, Kepler, I don't think I ever touch him against lefties, but everybody else for Minnesota is in play. I don't think I'd ever pay 4,600 or 3,200. And never mind. All right, I would pay 3,200 for Arias in the 2-hole for sure. I mean, this is a cheap. This is a pretty cheap stack for sure.
Get a little Nelson Cruz in there.
Yeah, I think with my Twins bats, I'm going to try to get Garrett Cole in there. I think that is in my 3-entry max. I have a lineup like we just made with the Sox and the Rockies. But then with Minnesota, I'm for sure getting Garrett Cole in there somehow because I need some upside. If I'm not going to be able to forward Coors Field bats, or maybe we can go 7, 8, 9 at Coors. I don't necessarily like to do that, but I don't know. Matt Kemp in the 7-hole, he could hit 2 home runs. Chris Owings, But yeah, it's a very tough slate, but a good one because everybody knows where to go. I don't think we're going to get many surprises out of the Cubs, and I would love to stack the Cubs tonight if the wind wasn't like 20 miles an hour in. You still could if you want, but you need a lot of doubles, a lot of RBIs, and just like kind of a grinded out type of game because you're not going to see the ball leave the yard there.
It's going to be difficult, but as you said, this is fun. We're finally getting into it. You kind of had to go through the rotation a couple times before we started to break up when all those pitchers were going and how they're not. I mean, if we're going to get Cole and DeGrom on every, slate, together, I'm not angry about it. I think it makes it kind of fun because we know we're seeing 2 of the best pitchers in all of baseball go at it every time they're both going out. But I do think it's starting to break up a little bit. We're starting to see some pitchers move around, and it's not just a god-awful slate 3 days in a row for pitching, and then we get aces for 2 days, and then it just goes back to terrible again. So it is nice to see things just open up and break up a little bit, which is kind of cool. So you have one more stack for us, Mr. Sticks picks, that we can kind of build a little lineup around going into Atlanta. How do you feel about Atlanta? They've destroyed the Mets this year. I don't know if that's one that you're really on, but no, they're playing DeGrom. I take that back. That's on me.
I'm not going to pick on DeGrom.
Yeah, that's on me. So is there anywhere else that you would consider maybe putting a couple bucks, maybe those Oakland bats a little bit, maybe, Paddock against Dodgers? I don't really want to touch either of those as well.
I would go with the Yankees. They seem like the forgotten child today. They have the second highest implied team total on the slate, or third, sorry, because the Giants have a high one just for being at Coors. But it doesn't seem like anybody's playing the Yankees today. And Jake Arrieta throws a ton of fly balls, very high exit velocity on those fly balls and line drives, and a very high barrel rate. That is going to be a problem. And, they all have fresh arms, but I think the best thing for a bullpen is constant work. They haven't played in a week. I do not like that setup for their bullpen. I do not like Arrieta in general. I think this is the contrarian lineup of the night, but they pretty much cost as much as Coors Field does. So
I was just about to say, a little difficult. And how much Mike Ford do I really want to play? Not that much. Not enough to play him. No. But I wouldn't mind Gio at 4. Honestly, that's not terrible. You're not going to be able to play Cole with the Yankees bats. I think that's going to be just way too difficult. I mean, you still have a couple bucks left over, but man, I don't know. You're picking at the bottom of the barrel. Maybe that Carlos Rondon. Why do I keep saying Rodon? Carlos Rodon. You say it. And Montas. That's going to be a little bit easier if we can throw him in there. Let's see what that looks like, because that's just going to save you a boatload of salary. And then that's when we can start. Yeah, we have significantly more left over. So maybe we're not going after Sanchez, but I don't know. Would you take?
Quick note here, just on looking at this, it seems like this is the easy build right here is Rodon, Montas. So just to be aware, anybody out there watching, be different, because it seems DraftKings always helps you shove in the same players, and everybody's going through the same decision making. So maybe do one with Rodon and Paddock. It's not that out of the realm of possibilities for Paddock to have a really solid night. I don't see him getting a win. I think his odds in Vegas are pretty low too when I checked this morning. But for GPPs, obviously, for cash games, just you have to use Montes. 60% of the field's going to use him, if not more. Just shove him in all your cash games, especially on DraftKings.
But here. We could throw
Bueller's.
Yeah.
Dodgers are minus 125 favorite, so it's damn near a pick 'em. I like Paddock tonight for sure for GPP perspective.
I think it could be great, and I think that's why we appreciate you, and we're glad that you had a lot of fun on vacation, but we're glad that you're back now and you get to help us out a little bit, make some fire lineups so we can win some money. So that's just about it. Anything else on your end, Nick? I mean, I think we did a pretty damn good job of going over those pitchers that we needed. Isaiah is asking us why we're talking about pitchers not named Garrett Cole. Isaiah, because everyone knows about
the first
Garrett Cole.
one.
We don't even have to worry about him. If you don't know how to play Garrett Cole, that's on you, man. That's on you. But Nick, where can everyone find you on the Twitterverse?
Sticks Picks, STIXPICKS, and stack up those White Sox tonight. Brett Anderson is going to get shelled. Ryan Healy's going to hit a home run tonight, though. I'm going to call that.
Call that now. There we go. It's on recording. Everyone heard it, so that's what we got. You can find me at Michael Raziel1. Make sure to follow us at Win Daily Sports. Hop over to windailysports.com. We got sports bets. We obviously have DFS for all the sports that are going on now. That includes esports and the like. But thank you all very much. Get to making some of those lineups. Got about 15 minutes, 20 minutes left here, so enjoy the heck out of that, and we hope you make it a very profitable night, everybody.